Have you ever heard a story so bizarre, so tragic, and so unbelievable that it feels like it was pulled straight from the pages of a horror novel? Let me tell you about Ibn Byers, a man whose life took a horrifying turn when he trusted what the world thought was a miracle cure: radium. This is the chilling tale of how one man's pursuit of health and vitality ended in a way no one could have imagined. Before we dive into this haunting story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we bring you some of the most fascinating and mind-blowing stories you'll ever hear. Ibn Byers wasn't just anyone. He was a wealthy industrialist, an athlete, and a socialite in the early 1900s, living a life most people could only dream of. But everything changed after a simple injury, a fall from his bed during a train ride. His doctors recommended a product called Radium, which was marketed as a miracle health drink containing radium, a newly discovered and highly radioactive element that people believed had rejuvenating powers. Little did they know, this so-called miracle was a ticking time bomb. Radium wasn't just popular, it was a sensation. Advertised as a cure for everything from fatigue to impotence, it was seen as cutting-edge science. And Byers became its most famous advocate. He drank bottle after bottle, believing he was revitalizing his body. In total, Byers consumed over 1,400 bottles of Radium over a few years, convinced it was enhancing his strength and energy. But here's the horrifying twist: radium is incredibly toxic when ingested. At first, Byers didn't notice the damage it was doing to his body. He felt energized, maybe even better than ever, which only encouraged him to drink more. But behind the scenes, the radium was destroying him from the inside out. It deposited itself into his bones, causing them to slowly disintegrate. It started with minor aches and pains, but soon, the effects became impossible to ignore. Byers began losing weight, his teeth started falling out, and his jaw became horribly disfigured. His condition was so gruesome that his lower jaw eventually deteriorated completely, leading to the shocking reports that his jaw fell off. Even then, Byers didn't immediately connect his suffering to the radium. It wasn't until it was far too late that the truth came out. By the time doctors realized what was happening, Byers' body was riddled with radiation damage. He suffered excruciating pain, and his health rapidly declined. In 1932, at just 51 years old, Ibn Byers passed away. An autopsy revealed that his bones were so radioactive they had to be buried in a lead-lined coffin to prevent contamination. This tragic story didn't just end with Byers. His death became a wake-up call for the world, forcing regulators to take a hard look at the so-called health products being sold to the public. It led to greater scrutiny of the use of radioactive substances and sparked changes in how we approach consumer safety. Today, Byers' story stands as a grim reminder of the dangers of blind trust in unproven medical treatments. Ibn Byers' horrifying experience shows us just how far we've come in understanding science and medicine, and how much damage can be done when we don't question what we're being sold. If you found this story as shocking and haunting as I did, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear it. There's so much more to uncover, and you won't want to miss our next deep dive into the strange and fascinating chapters of history.